This is the Luna ROV from Boxfish. I use it since 2 years now. The capability of this ROV is you can go beyond the diver limits and up to 1,000 meters. And as you can see, the whole pack is very small, so you can travel with like 3 pedicats in a plane and finish in a 6-meter boat and diving at 500 meters. And still, you have the full control of your camera. And part of this system, of course, you have the ROV with diving, you have the control station within the boat and you can pilot everything. And you have the Tether rail will link you from the control station to the ROV. Some people can say, having a rail or having a line underwater is a big inconvenience. Yes, it could be, but right now, if you want full control of the camera and having this kind of fine-tuning of everything, piloting, monitoring, adjusting the setting of the camera, you don't have any choice. You don't have any Wi-Fi in the waters. You have a little bit of acoustic, but you can have this kind of precise control that you want when you are a scientist or a filmmaker. So yes, the Tether rail, you can see it as a safety line too. If you lose your thruster, if everything happens, you always can drag your ROV back. What is very important is you can choose what camera you put inside. For example, right now, you can have the Alpha 7S3 or the Alpha 1, depending on what you want to do. Sony camera is very good because it's well known in the film industry already. They are very, very good in low light situation. And underwater, you are very often in low light situation. And you can choose a lens. Best lens to start with is the 16-35 because it's like the lens you can do everything with. But it's pretty easy to change lens. And if you want to do something specific, you can adapt the lens. You have 8 thrusters, so you can like drive in 3D position whenever you want. You have a very nice dome for your camera, it's 200 millimeters. You have some front lights that you can adjust, and you have more lights you can have with longer arms to put wherever you want. At the back of the ROV you have a bumper, very useful. Of course, the optical fiber link. The rear camera, because it's very convenient to have the possibility to look what is behind you. Because if you are looking for whale and you're just like looking in front of you, you can miss like a bus passing by behind. And it's very useful too when you want to come back to the boat using the tether line gates. And you have light over here, it's pretty much like indicating if the booting system is okay, if you are good to go. A lot of very easy and practical stuff. And then of course you have a control station. You have the bottom screen where you have all your indication to pilot the ROV, the instruments. And up here you have your Ninja for backup recording, pre-roll or main recording if you want to. And you can see the picking, level information, a lot of interesting facts for the filmmaker. And of course the 4K screens that make you like you're diving at 500 meters. Okay, we are looking at the Boxfish control station for the Luna ROV. Let's make a quick overview. Over here, this is the optical fibers. We use it to communicate with the ROV. Here, this is the alimentation, the power. And you can have 3 different types of alimentation when you are on the field. You can have day tape from a Veloc or any batteries with day tape on it. And of course, you can have the 12-volt outlet that you can find on a lot of boats. Here, this is a button to start the thrusters, stop the thrusters. The 3 buttons over here manage to pilot the ROV. You have different modes you can use. And if you're a drone pilot, Boxfish made a Q mode, like quadricopters. And it's very, very useful because on the field, sometimes you have the same people that fly the drone and then fly the ROV. And then when the controls are exactly the same, it's just perfect. And you have all your habit from drone piloting into the ROV piloting. So I love the CQ mode. I'm used to exactly like a drone, like I say. I can turn on myself, going in the depth, going back to the surface. Here this is all the tilt and the yaw to move the ROV, where I'm looking at. And on the right control, I'm going like a crab. I'm going forward, backward, going like on the right, on the left. We have the lights on and off, and you can dim the powers like soft light, hard light. What do you need at this time? Over here, we have the stabilization and the depth hold. Very useful too, because if you are in a place with not a lot of current and you just don't touch anything, the ROV will slightly move with the current, but not a lot. And if you have a lot of current and you have to use your thruster to move, the stabilization will help you to have smooth footage. You can lost where you are. And this shows you how much you have rolled pitch, like exactly in which position is your ROV. And look, I hit the panic button and it went back in the position. Of course, as a compass is like very, very useful. Here you can see the depth. Here you can see in which mode you are. CQ, C, ROV Q, you can have all the information. In the manual is how you can pilot it. The RTS is a little bit like the RTH on the drone. RTS is returned to the surface. So if everything's going badly, sometimes it's happened, the ROV will, by itself, if it lost communication with the control station, going up until it reaches the surface. And we'll have the light on. Front and the rear camera, as you can see here, we can see my tether line. If I don't know where I am and I want to go back, I just have to follow this line and go back in the boat. So here we have your overall information, your battery level, temperature, what is going on, humidity. Very good to like sanity checks if something is okay or not in your ROV. The humidity and pressure is very important because when you're doing the vacuum, you wait a little bit. And if the pressure doesn't go up, that means you don't have any leak and you can go with a clear mind, put your ROV into water. Okay, here you can see how much you use your thrusters, source voltage is stable or not from your alimentation, if you have a good signal with your optical fiber. Okay, we have here 3 tabs. Here we have also light mode where we can choose which light we want to use and how many power in each light. Here you have the thruster stabilization where you can test with the mouse one by one if everything is working fine. And of course you have the calibration information here. It's very useful when you're traveling. You need a new calibration for your compass or EMO. It's quite easy. It took like 3 minutes, and after you've done it, everything is good with the stabilization. Okay, now here, what is cool is when you're piloting, you have your camera control just on your right hand. Zoom. You have a servo motor here, so you can control the zoom or the focus as you want. And here, you have like a push autofocus. Then you can switch to manual, automatic. Just if you're not sure, you can have some help with your Sony camera to use the focus. With this different button in here, you can go deeply inside the menu to change everything like ISO, shutter, aperture, codec, frame rate, etc., etc. You have like all the Sony menu access from the 3 button, and it's very, very comfortable because what setting you use at 20 meters will be completely changed if you're going like at 300 meters deep. It's managed you to have the perfect control, manual control of your footage. Here there is tips because sometimes you cannot be focused on the piloting and on the perfect control of the footage. For me, I'm always going at priority shutter when I'm shooting in PAL, like shutter at 50, stuck, and I'm just playing, with the ISO like 800 or 12,800. And then the aperture will smoothly adapt. So I can dive from shallow waters to very deep waters, and the image quality will be great.